Welcome to my channel. My name is Elisa, and in this video I will talk about my fourth finished object of the 2025 knitting project, for which I will knit every pattern included in issue 9 of the Knitting Stories magazine. The magazine is unfortunately now discontinued, but all patterns are available on Ravelry as individual downloads. So if you feel inspired and you want to knit this, you can still head there. The link is in the description below. The object we're talking about is a pair of socks. Let me get it for you. Here they are. Two very cute ankle socks. They are called Firfir, and the designer is Pelin Akbaba. I'm pretty sure I got both names wrong, but bear with me. And I think she should be Turkish maybe, so if there are any Turkish viewers or any viewers who know the language, please let me know how the name of this pattern is pronounced. I'm sorry I don't have a sock blocker to show you. I modified the pattern slightly, but mostly it's what you will get if you knit these socks. As you can see, there's a ruffle, and in the original pattern there were also bubbles along here that I decided to skip because this is frilly enough for me, even a bit too much, but I think the picot edge is really cute. I never know how to show these very tiny details. I hope it's visible enough. Of course, the edge is folded and joined here, folded down and joined here, but we are going into the details in a moment. And yes, in case you're wondering, this is a whole video about a pair of socks, so we're going to get a bit nerdy here. If this is not your kind of thing, you can always head to the channel and find my other videos. I have monthly podcasts. I'm a little behind now, but I will resume putting out monthly videos where I talk about my whips, my finished objects, and my acquisitions, like most podcasters. Okay. What about these socks? These were my travel project during my travel in Japan. I didn't finish them there because you need to block before you add the ruffles. So I did most of it, so all this bit until here on both socks. And then I came home, I blocked it, and I picked up the stitches for the ruffle and the hem. And they were finished in about 3 weeks, a very quick and easy knit, of course. I started on the 20th of April 2025 and I finished on the 11th of May. I'm reading from my knitting journal. One of the goals of my 2025 projects was also to finally get a proper journal and write a proper journal about my knitting, because all of this is done to keep better track of what I'm doing. To become more aware of what I do with my knitting, which is such an important part of my life, so it deserves attention. And I'm really enjoying keeping this journal, so I will read from it from time to time. I knit size 3 in terms of the number of stitches, but I had an issue with the gusset, so I modified there. But again, we will talk about it in more detail. I want to show you the yarn label first. This is it. RICO cotton stretch, and it's a blend of cotton and wool. I think 50-50. No, it's 40% cotton, 40%. Oh, this doesn't end up. Oh yes. 40 and 40% cotton and wool, and the rest, the remaining 20%, is a synthetic fibers, obviously. But it's I really enjoyed working with this yarn. It's very elastic and very nice to work with. The colors are also very nice, I think. It's one of those almost self-striping yarns, as you can see. So it's not boring at all. That's what I find with solid colors sometimes. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I also have final ratings in my journal, and the yarn gets 5 for sure. I used 33 grams for each sock. The bow is 100 gram, and this is how it looks like when it's not knitted up. I expected to use less, to be honest, because it's only an ankle sock. But the ruffle has a lot of stitches, so I think that's the reason why it took so much yarn. Yes. Okay. My gauge was also slightly different from the pattern, so maybe that's what called the little hiccup that I had with the gusset, but not. I don't think that's the only reason. So I had 34 stitches instead of 32. I have to say that I had a lot of doubts when I knitted those socks. Maybe it's because I didn't have much knitting time when I was traveling, because of course there were a lot of other things to do. So I picked them up and put them down a lot. I don't know, I almost decided at some point to abort them, but I'm very stubborn, unfortunately, so in the end I completed them, and I'm happy that I did. Starting from the toe, you know, this was the first problem that I had. It's not, in my opinion, a well-shaped toe. You can see that it's a trapezoid. It starts, of course, with the cast on here, and the increases are very rapid and regular. So what I normally do is a more rounded toe with a few increases every row, and then I start increasing every second round. So first I increase for, like, let's say 5 or 6 rounds every round, and then I start increasing every second round, and that gives me a more rounded shape and also a shallower toe. This is very deep, and it doesn't fit nicely on my foot because I have square toes, so I need a bit more space at the very tip of the sock. So that was the first thing that I didn't like. You know, when you start out and you already don't like it, it's not easy to carry on. Also, the increases and decreases are indicated in the pattern in the opposite way that I normally do them, and I don't know why. Again, because I was not at home, I was not thinking right. I didn't do them in the way that I normally do them. That would have been nicer, because here what I got is these very visible increases, in my opinion. So instead of making one left, I did a make one right, and instead of a make one right, I did a make one left. I should have just gone as I normally do. I really have no idea why I didn't. So that was for the second hiccup. And then when I got to the part where you have to do the gusset, so this is a toe up with a heel flap and gusset, which is very interesting, and I've never done it before. I've done it the other way, starting from the top, but not like this, and I was very curious to try it, but it didn't work. It didn't work in this pattern and in the way it's calculated in this pattern. It turned out that this, you can see the gusset here, the gusset line, again with the increases that are opposite to what I normally do, so I kept doing it wrong. I don't know why. So if I had put on all of the stitches that were indicated in the pattern, my sock would have been this tall. Honestly, it was an insane amount of stitches, even considering the shape of my foot, which is rather wide at the toes and then narrowing considerably in the place where the gusset goes. I don't see how, I mean, you need to have hobbit feet to be able to wear a sock with that amount of stitches. I don't want this to sound wrong. I'm sure there are feet out there that would fit into a sock with that stitch count, but I think I have hobbit feet, you know, woman's size, but the shape of them, they are still quite wide and square and boxy. I don't know, but they're, and I've knitted other gussets, but this one just didn't work. I don't know why. So I adjusted the numbers, and this is closer to the shaping for size 1 in the pattern. So 2 sizes down from the toe stitches that I needed. And the width is right, so the sock fits here with, you know, this is 64 is my usual number of stitches for the circumference, so it's fine. It's just this calculation, I couldn't make sense of it, but it's fine. Okay. The heel also fits. It's a bit wide maybe compared to what I normally do on my socks, but it still fits. It's okay. I will insert a photo of the worn socks, and they fit okay in the end. It's just, you know, if you want to knit them, be aware that there might be something in that gusset calculation that you have to at least look at before you start on it. Okay, it will save you time, because I ripped that back twice, and it wasn't nice. Like I said, I was traveling, so I had other things on my mind, and having to sit and you know, and make calculations was not easy and not nice at the time. But it worked out in the end, so I'm happy. The note I made here to myself is to always make the shaping in socks the way I normally do it, whatever the pattern says. So trust myself, because I know my feet. I have knitted quite a few socks for myself, so I know what I need to do. Another difficulty I had with these socks is that I was using Adi Trio for the first time, and I really liked them. I really liked it. It was very easy to knit with, very quick, you know, very quick. Yeah, the stockinette part just flew off, but unfortunately halfway through the first sock, my needles snapped. So the tip just snapped off of the cable. So I had to quickly go and buy a set of DPNs. So luckily in Japan there is no shortage of craft supplies. So I bought some very nice Clover needles. I think Clover is a Japanese brand. Not sure, but yeah, I finished the project with DPNs, and that's also fine. I don't mind working on DPNs. I just bought the Addis out of curiosity, but it turns out I wasted 20 euros or so. All right, modifications I made. I should have made more, like I said, for the shaping. But one thing that I did is purled cast on for the ruffle. So you cast on the ruffle and then you join it. And I don't like the long tail cast on. That's one of my pet peeves. I just don't like it. And I quite like the look of the knitted cast on, or purled cast on in this case. When you knit in the round, it's better to do a purled cast on instead of a knitted cast on, because this the prettiest part of the cast on stays on the outside then. So purl cast on, and I have also sewn down the folded hem instead of finishing it off knitting it, because yeah, because I know that my tension is better if I use a needle instead of the. I didn't want this to shrink in, and then maybe in case, you know, I wouldn't be able to put it on my foot. Yeah, so that was that. I haven't worn the socks yet, so I cannot say if the yarn will wear well and tolerate all the washings. They are simply too warm for the season now, so, and they were in April as well. We had some very warm days between April and May, so but yeah, I have a pair of Mary Janes that I think will look very well with the Firfir socks. So that was that, fourth finished object of 2025. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.